Hello, this is FG back with the EU4 Anbennar, continuing on with the Gnollakaz campaign. Last episode we got started. So far we have played 15 years into the game, and we have managed to expand quite a lot. Right now we are mostly waiting for Keterata to finish up their war against Olizna. No matter which way it goes, we will have a great time fighting them. Additionally, okay, we do have Haprometi as accepted, which is excellent. Next, potentially Kogzala, but we're gonna need to spend a little bit of time recovering our manpower. Additionally, we could go in here. Grab a bunch of provinces from them. Okay, we could not vassalize them. Olizna. Okay. Did they? No, they did not seize the mandate. Go ahead and build a spy network. Continue waiting for our manpower to recover. Currently have a tech advantage over them. Yeah, we do want to actually go this way and grab all of the coastline from them. And then we can go in against Baruch and I guess vassalize them, potentially. Also waiting for the cores to get done will be good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pour these up. What is our tolerance of... Okay, yeah. Combat with is 25. Trade efficiency, yeah, we can go. What are we doing with our mages? Okay. Yeah. Already getting that going. Alright. Yes. War exhaustion. Down to nearly no war exhaustion, which is excellent. We're gonna go ahead and pour up Mother's Delta as well. Just so we get that extra manpower. We can take these cavalry, go right there. Go up to 16. I asked for manpower. It's not enough manpower to be worth it. We will actually send... They are likely to rise up here. Okay. Truce with Gnollakaz is up. We will eventually go fight Muktahar, but that will be a little bit of a wait. Yeah, we'll do invisibility. And here we want to go with... Actually, we'll get rid of that, and we'll go with 2 more cavalry. off for more money. Excellent. Yeah, we can spare the mana. Okay, so now I can do this and this. All right. As long as Luke doesn't give them access, we should be fine. Yeah, they hate everyone. Okay. These guys can come here, these guys can get that one. Good. That's not the shock general, this is the shock general. Okay. I assume... yeah, that has enough to support siege, or support the army that's sitting there. Here we can go ahead and throw down a defensive edict, slow down the siege process. We will take Diplotech. They just take attrition like that, that's gonna be good, because Alisna, after they lose their 4,000 men they have in reserve, they basically won't get any more, because elves. And what we want from them is gonna be something probably like that, and then whatever cash they're willing to hand over. Spellbook, enchantment. That will have the fun effect of forcing them to run around. Okay, we want to collect from there and we want to transfer here. Philip's gonna have a bad time, but that's fine. Spine up construction. Alright. Now I'll take the humans. Wisna has 22,000 men left, is human, so it's less of a problem for them. Oh, there's Luke. Yeah, They'll get pieced out. There we are. Okay, that's only 1,000 men over, so I'm willing to leave that army there. We can invite a monstrous pedigree scholar. We can chase them east. Okay, we'll take that. Yeah, we want to embrace new thoughts for the moment. Who is... Okay, they are still... Charge... Yeah, I'll go with Hyena Cataphract. Do that. Don't usually take it, but it might be useful. Alright, Biz is willing to get out. Yeah, we gotta stop him. Do not have the manpower to do that yet. Although if Sarian's fighting another war, they should be willing to just give up in not too long. They can get rid of the cavalry and then an infantry, and they can sit right there. So that way we should take a lot less attrition. Yeah, that's good. These guys can just sit in place and drill for a little bit. This fort does actually prevent them from running further south into my land. Pretty cool. Alright. Oh, they annexed Rockland while we were fighting. That's cool. Not gonna take that. I'll send the troops into the desert to go hopefully stack wipe that. Yep. And we'll take a look at the cash. I'm gonna like scorch the provinces in the north. Those are the wrong culture. Make it a little bit easier to core the stuff up. Make it back south. And we can just do that. Alright, we're not doing that yet. We want to go ahead and take the stewardship ourselves. We're going to have troops up in the north anyways, so there's nothing really wrong with declaring a war. And is that they have the siege general. Alright. I'll take back 5. Okay, Ireland does have the institution. And here we want stewardship, as well as all of the provinces. The cat. Appease the cat. Alright. The title Steward of the Sorrows carries with it an undeniable weight of authority and prestige. It is bestowed upon rulers of the lands along the Sorrow who have been deemed worthy of the Kedark, the leader of the Ket. This mysterious race of godlings, whose very existence has been inextricably intertwined with the Mother Sorrow since the times of dread Elkahet, has but one glaring weakness. They are utterly pampered creatures, accustomed to fawning worship and an endless deluge of luxuries, be they exotic delicacies or valuables of exquisite craftsmanship. If we can prove our worth as the new rulers of Kedarata and replace the foolish Chromados dynasty as the premier supplier of these amenities, the Kedark will surely be swayed by our righteous claim to all the lands along the Sorrow. Granting us the stewardship would only acknowledge the new reality and thus legitimize our conquest, preventing futile uprisings and unnecessary bloodshed. How old is Grizka? 55. The river glistened in the sunlight, a balmy breeze blew across the water, in the shade of silken canopies on his personal pleasure barge, Kedark Bakhet II silently bemoaned his all-encompassing ennui. It was a perfectly lovely day, with perfectly lovely delicacies fed to him by perfectly lovely attendants while he reclined on a perfectly lovely divan. But so had been the day before and the day before that. Imagine his surprise when the tedious routine was interrupted by the unscheduled approach of a supply boat. Aboard were not the expected crates and barrels to resupply the ever-dwindling stock of the bark, but what appeared to be a delegation with the decidedly more hirsute appearance than he was used to from his usual human devotees. A closer glance revealed them to be gnolls, whose presence seemed to cause some concern amongst the alarmed attendants. One of the gnolls, of proud bearing and richly adorned, swiftly strode forward to stand before Bakhet, ignoring all ineffectual attempts to bar her way. I, Galud Grizka, stand before you, O mighty Kedark, to claim what is mine by right of conquest. I request that you recognize my righteous claim to the stewardship of the Sorrow, for I swear I will raise these lands under your care in heights never before seen. If you do so, I solemnly promise to. Yes, yes, you are certainly grand and mighty and all that, but what about the grapes? The grapes? A look of utter consternation crossed across the Gnoll's mien. Yes, the grapes. I have been expecting a shipment of Bahari grapes for the entire last week. They are my favorite post-nap snack, and I am starting to feel well and truly annoyed by their continued absence. Well, I am sure that something can be arranged to expedite the replenishment of your grape stocks, as long as a mutually acceptable agreement regarding the stewardship can be reached. Surely, you must recognize that the time of the craven Chromados has passed, and it is time for a new ambitious steward. An expectant silence spread across the pleasure bark, as the Kedark, after a suitably dramatic pause, languidly waved a hand in disinterested assent. Whatever you say, new steward. Just make sure that me and my kin are no longer subject to such deplorable lack of amenities. It is simply an unconscionable state of affairs. So we get 30 years of new steward of the Sorrow, and we will get a... let's see... Steward of the Sorrows, land maintenance, autonomy, mandate growth, global monthly devastation. Okay, so that just makes it super easy to conquer everything. Alrighty. We'll give it a few months to pour everything. That is the siege leader. Okay, we got another siege leader. Alright. Illusion. What do we have? Shadows in the Night Assimilation Program. That's not useful right now, but it definitely will be later. And then we can go to Conjuration, some familiars. Alright, that can come off. Yeah, we can do that. That's annoying. Okay, so for taxation, definitely want a bunch of those buildings. Alright. Didn't take too many casualties, which is excellent. And with Baruch, we don't want to do that yet. We can grab our cores, Z-Call, which is good. We'll also probably need to go fight Everthiel. And we can obviously grab basically all of Elisna with fairly easily. Okay. Yep, admin power. Exotic goods. Legendary. Okay, that's just extra shock damage. Up to 20 each of these. Ports are good. Yep. Yep. Alright, we are nearly done. Satrapy. Is there a difference between a satrapy and a tributary? No. Alright. Alright, time to head south. They are allied with them. Unless Baruch releases that, we will do 200%. Is the same Casus Belli, basically. Alright, come on this way. Excellent. Oh. Who else are we fighting? These guys. There's our court mage. 9 yearly prestige seems fine. What does hedonism give? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we'll accept the gnomes. probably accept this, and then I could do Korsheshi culture. Okay, we got some hedonism, which is good. Alright. With that, we can do that and that. This way. Okay, and for them, tributary. All right. And then Sakul are the ogres. We want those 3 provinces to go over. And then establish them as a tributary. Something. Does Benwarji really want to be that big? I actually don't think so. Those provinces should go to our little Gnollish friends. Right. Loyal tributary above 50 development. These guys do not have 50 development. Alright. And then we do definitely want those guys as a tributary, because they're pretty big. And it's not really an area of Sarhal that I even really want to fight in, or conquer. I don't want to fight in it either, but... that, and here we can do... I'll go with diplomatic. Either that or influence. Actually, I like diplomatic a little bit more. I want to go ahead and take tech, though. Alright, here we want tributary, as well as cash. Alrighty. And then there we want tributary as well as cash. Damn, Benwarji has a ton of cores. Daru, Elisna. here. Alright, how many men do they have? 24,000. Not enough to fight me off. That. What's wrong with corruption? Tease the cat overextension. Break that up that way. And then we want 75% cost, 75% cost. Yeah. And then we also would like, with our taxation, build a bunch of tax buildings. As for what we want in Z-Call, this is going to be a lot of it. I only have 5,000 men. No idea where their troops are. That's the 15,000. Okay. We can bring these troops over this way. Tech-wise, Tech 7 versus Tech 6. We should have better troops in general. Oh, that's what they sieged. On the government progress. Yeah, that's great. And then we will monstrous conquest these guys, and we're just going to turn them into a regular vassal. That should also give us 3 vassals, or 3 Gnollish vassals, which is what we need. Alright, so here... suppose I can conquer all of it. I'd kind of like this region to be mine. There we are. What are we at? 34 minutes. Let's do this. And we can burn that, burn that, burn that, burn that. Alright, So Z-Call. They really do not want to surrender. Because I do not occupy that province. It's not one of my favorite mechanics. Alright, so here... Okay, so... Here, we can... take something like that. Need to scorch that many provinces. And then get those guys together. And over here with Barucht. They're 100% occupied. Do that. These guys come over here. Is there any province that's not terrible to sit in? This one. Alright. Grizka's chosen moniker, an Empress of Gnollkind, is neither empty boast nor wishful thinking. It is a promise both to the many loyal packs that have already bound their fate to that of Grizka, and to those pack mistresses and pack lords looking on from the outside, who stubbornly refuse to put their own ambition aside and join Gnollakaz for the greater glory of Gnollkind. And while vacillating attitudes of these independent packs, with their short-sighted refusal to commit themselves to Grizka's grand vision, does not endear them to our glorious Galud, it is the pack that broke its sacred oath of allegiance, to whom she reserves her most ardent ire. Now, with the former lands of her cause firmly subjugated once more, an example has to be made of that treacherous viper, Kaz II, to warn all others away from repeating her fatal mistake. Her agonies shall put even the most sadistic imaginations of a devout Zabacultist to shame. And once she has been granted the release of death, her carcass will be left for the wild animals to devour. Not one sliver of her rotten meat is worthy to touch the lips of her betters. She, her foul deeds, and fleeting ambition will be forgotten, all turned into so much scavenger refuse. Alright. We Gnolls as a people are not averse to combat, whether to advance our place in the pack, raid a prosperous settlement, or defend our pack against rivals and intruders, but fighting as small roving bands of raiders is a different beast entirely to the coordinated march and imperial battle formation now required from us. If we want to stand a better chance to keep our conquests in the years to come, we will need to build up an army worthy of our empire, an army capable of shattering all enemies who may dare challenge us in the years to come. The heart of our nascent imperial army will be the Empire's flame, an elite formation whose fiery torch will scorch all before them. And as for those who cover beneath our shadow, having sworn oaths of fealty in return for our magnanimous protection, they will send us their most accomplished warriors to serve in our wars, each and every one adding to our martial prowess and superior discipline. Alright, so currently we have a whole bunch of nations. 83, okay. 50 development. How many? They're good, they're good. They don't have enough. Okay. Alright. Because we're actually quite high tolerance of heathens, we're not gonna have that bad of a time. And we also want to improve with subject nations. They don't have cores on anything, so we are fine. We're gonna have to do that eventually. The Ahati. Alright, you can read that if you so desire. Not gonna do anything for now. Oh. We'll do Cat Guardians. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, these guys don't have 50 development. That way. Take Tech 6 here. Yeah, basically most of this area brought under tribute, which is wonderful. Miracle of Life. Okay, that helps. Quasi tributary. Alright. That should be good. We can take them back. Alright. Take back as well. Tributary. Alright. And they can stick around over here. These guys can march this way. And with this, we can ask for even more. Can't quite found Gnollakaz, so we gotta do this. Okay. What about Zaka? We can go fight Zaka. Do need to fight Muktahar as well, but Yzilmora is kind of too much of an issue for me to ignore. Let's do that. And Diplo Rep is excellent, because that will make our tributes a little bit happier. Need to develop somewhere. Is there any chance that we get the instant? No, pretty much no. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Here we can do that. Alright. Advancement effort down there. And development province means that will do alright. This will get it very quickly. Okay. Eventually, we will need to integrate them. We do that, and then enchantment. How close are we now? Yeah, most of these just don't have enough. Degrade Ezoric. Although we actually might be able to do that through our mission tree that we get later. We have a lot of satrapies. Wait a little bit longer, get about 10,000 men. I think would be a good number for us to do. More defense. Party commanders is good. Trade guilds. Truce with Alizna has ended. We do want to do Mukhar first, I think. Okay. Put a spy network here. And also go build a spy network there. We can do 2 wars at one time. That's not too bad. Okay. So I am going to send troops here. Combat width is 24. You get single value cannon on each of these. So I can go through the process of sieging, hopefully a little bit easier. Okay. here, and then we're going to declare on Sanigeisha with a established tributary. They should not, yeah, they only have 10,000 men. Okay, and what we want here is gonna be like... let me just check something. Okay, yeah. Want those 3 provinces, because this gives us a malice. Alright, there we are. And we can head up that way. We need to throw an advancement edict down there. An extra diplomat would be good for dealing with our subject. Alright, good. Alright, we can come back down south. And with them, we want tributary for 80. Just don't get it. Goodness. Alright, and there we are. Monetary reforms. You cannot... Damn it. I do that. There, here. Alright, Mukhar. Thank you very much. We now have the north side of the lake. Burn that. Gnollakaz will be left because it is a holy city of the cat. And here we want that. Alrighty. And we want siege ability. Okay, that's fine. We want more siege ability. We can go fight Zaka. How many men does Hratstega have? Alright, we are looking much better in terms of growth. Actually, we probably want to come down here and do a force tributary. Okay. These guys can come up that way. This way we will have most of... what's it called? What are they called? The Fangulas under our illustrious rule. Ooh, that's really good general. Okay, this guy can get removed because siege is great. Oh, accidentally tabbed out. Sorry. This will be the last war, and then I'm going to end the episode. But I figured it was worth bringing sort of some of the last bits of Fangula under our illustrious enlightened rule. Having that single cannon saves us a ton of time. Eventually we should just be able to annex Ezoric. With our mission tree, I believe, that we get after this. Oh, we've not revolted. That is where the leader of, what's it called, is from. The leader of the New Wanderers. I might do a playthrough of the New Wanderers into Castanor. Because weirdly, it's like kind of the most thematic way to form Castanor, because the original Castanorians were Gnollish slaves who ran away. Alright. I don't ask for the money. Okay, we're good there, and here we want tribute. Okay, they're getting double teamed by subjects and future subjects. So that's good. And that will be it for this episode. We now have quite a large portion of Sarhal under tribute, including a very lovely looking Semigesha, which is probably, what, 150 or 200 development? 125. I was right in the middle. Which is lovely. Probably want them to give that. Everyone can give me admin. I'll throw a placate down for them, and a placate down for them. And, let's see, what, 24, 24, 24. It's their cheapest province. 55. 4, 5. 50 development. 45. So we can do this now. The human inhabitants of Catarata exhibit many despicable traits, frankly too many to list them in a single lifetime, but one thing which they have shown a certain aptitude is the administration of a far-flung empire. For all the vicissitudes suffered by the empires of Catarata over the millennia, it has never truly lost its iron grip over the people within its borders, and has proven capable of restoring said grip over any territory temporarily lost to hostile neighbors. It would be the utmost level of foolishness to discard their hard-won experience merely because we bested them in battle. Let them serve us as they have served their imperial masters in the past. And while we Gnolls may not have such a storied legacy of imperial grandeur, the flexible, if cutthroat meritocracy at the heart of our cultural traditions will be a grand boon. Whether it comes to the prevention of nepotistic corruption within the administration or the integration of newly conquered people into the empire. So this will give us 10% crown land, which is pretty good. And then we will need to go fight Nephicet and Eberthiel, as well as Belizna. Yes, that will be a problem for next episode, though. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.